Danny, coming off a loss, but also going into what is a game that I think a lot of people probably circle on the calendar just because of the history of both these clubs. Where does that leave you guys, and how have you felt about training this week?
Yeah, it leaves us with making sure that we correct the areas that we want to be better. We have been a good team on the road, difficult to break down this year. And at the end of the day, we're obviously unhappy about the result on the weekend, but the week of training has been really good. The spirits are up, and I think that's the biggest thing is making sure that the guys, remain confident, understand the process, and we continue to build this thing. Ultimately, we're not happy with our record here at home, but I want to make sure that the guys continue to respond, and this is a good opportunity against a very good team at a difficult place to do that.
Paolo talked about last weekend and especially the second half, looking improved from like a chance creation standpoint. Said sometimes you can win games and still not feel good about it. And sometimes you can lose games and say there's a lot of positives there. Is this one of those moments where you can maybe drop some points and say, well, we did a lot of good things, or there's some good indicators there?
Yeah, ironically, I thought we were incredible in the second half. I thought the guys that came on did an excellent job. I thought the understanding of exploiting space. We just didn't finish the quite a few chances that we had, and it left us vulnerable in the counter. We get a little bit unlucky with that, very unlucky on their second goal. But the response from there 30 seconds later was incredible. We pushed for it and end up giving the third. So again, there were a lot of positives to take away from the game, and certainly nobody's sitting here and happy with a loss. Certainly not me, certainly not the group. But you look to take some things away from that second half, as you said, to make sure that you build on it. And when you go in and you do the video on Monday morning and you're feeling like, wow, you can't believe that you lost the game, I think there's positives to take away from that. Yeah, I think we have a good group of guys with some very good leadership, and this is a time where that needs to come out. You're losing games that you feel you should be winning, and the performance is a little bit up and down. I think at the end of the day, we have a lot of points to still play for, and it's making sure the players understand that you can choose to live in this moment right now and dwell on the previous result, or you can look at it and go, okay, next action, we have another game, we have 63 points available. That's a lot of points, and so I think confidence becomes really important, and my job is to make sure that the players understand that there's still full belief and that they understand the game plan that we're looking to execute on the weekend.
I know you mentioned you're not happy with the home record here, but you guys still draw a pretty incredible crowd. How beneficial is that mixed with the record that you do have on the road going into Phoenix?
Yeah, no, it's honestly, the support this year has been incredible. My hope is that the fans understand the importance of it and how much it helps the group. Of course, we're not happy, just like I'm sure they're not, with the results here at home. But make no mistake that those crowds, the environment, really it continues to bring our players, especially in moments of need, a renewed energy and an ability to do the best we can to come back in the game. And I think, again, we talked about it at the end of last year, and I've said it before, I think when you don't have that type of support in the stands, it can become more difficult for the players. And so we've been really thankful for the support, and our hope is that in our next home game we can make sure we reward them.
Part of last week, a big storyline, you're playing different players, try a different formation. I know the answer is not good, but how are injuries and the adjustments that they have forced you to make?
Yeah, so it's looking more and more likely that Jordan Scarlett is going to be out for the season. Jorge is flying out today to get surgery. Niall, as you guys know, has been out probably 75% of the year up to this point. He's really played in maybe one, maybe two games. Josh is obviously not here. So these are injuries that are a little bit longer term, and my job is to make sure that I prepare the guys. Their numbers are being called upon to give the best that they can on the field. So other than that, Manny is still out this weekend. Brian is still out this weekend. So we're doing our best to get these guys healthy, and until that happens, we need to make sure that when a player's number called, that as I said, they give us a good performance.
And just last one from me, Phoenix, this was the game last year, the summer showcase game. They were sort of in a bad way. They part ways with their coach. What are they like now as a team under some new leadership?
Yeah, confident team with the ball. They do a really good job in their builds in generating chances. They want the ball, a lot of possession-oriented team, and they have dangerous pieces higher up the field, right? Trejo, Arteaga, these are guys that have scored a lot of goals in this league, had success in this league, but they're guys that will be, as prepared for as we can be, and again, I do believe it comes down to, and I said this to the group the other day, when we've been on the road, our mentality has been phenomenal. Whether that be through adversity or playing well. And so we need to make sure that mentality from the first whistle is there for 90 minutes plus, and we don't have any lapses.
The Memphis match is kind of particularly interesting. Not only did you have a higher expected goal value for, but the gap between expected goals for and against was quite large. And I was just kind of wondering, how much of that do you attribute to the shift of formation mid-match? Is that kind of maybe like a little bit of a wild card strategy that might bode well in the future for you?
I think it gives us, the option to look at different shapes. Again, I put Elijah in a difficult spot, but I still felt he played really well in that position for us, and so I think it allows you, and I think last year it became really important for us to be able to play different systems. We did it all through the playoffs. We did it leading into the end of the year, and it made us less predictable. That was the first thing. And then the second thing is, I wasn't unhappy by any means with the shape in the first half. I just felt that we were giving too much away in transition, which is why I went away from it in the second half. And I thought the guys responded really well, and we limited transition compared to the first half. So it's a system to continue to build on, and we will continue to build on it. But as I said, the player availability can dictate a lot of that. Right now, it's a little bit more difficult when you're putting a central midfielder in at center back who hasn't played it a ton. So we'll see what that looks like for the weekend. But ultimately, I think it's a good thing to be able to play different shapes.
I mean, not the first time the club has moved a winder to center back, and it turned out okay.
No, it turned out pretty well. Just don't tell Elijah that, because he's not going to want me not playing him at central midfield.
Thanks, Danny.
Appreciate it.